Have you ever wondered if your small habits might make others uncomfortable? As we get older, it's easy to let things slide. Habits, appearance, attitude. This isn't about blame, it's about seeing yourself with fresh eyes and making small changes that boost your confidence and relationships. Self-awareness is powerful. When you know how you come across, you can choose what to do about it. These little adjustments can help you walk taller and connect deeper with those you care about. So stick with me, let's get into it. Let's talk about personal grooming, that often overlooked aspect of our daily lives that holds more power than we might initially think. It's not just about vanity or adhering to societal expectations, it's about self-respect, self-care, and the subtle messages we send to the world around us. Think of it as a quiet conversation you're having with yourself and everyone you meet. It's about the little details that add up, those seemingly insignificant choices that collectively paint a picture of how we value ourselves. These details speak volumes often before we even utter a single word. They influence first impressions, shape perceptions, and ultimately impact our interactions with others. Maybe it's untrimmed nails, a small detail perhaps, but one that can easily be addressed. Overgrown or unkempt nails can detract from an otherwise polished appearance. Or a wild beard, a facial forest that has lost its way. A beard can be a statement, a mark of distinction, but it requires taming. Without proper care, it can project an image of neglect. Or a shirt with a stain, a silent testament to a forgotten spill or a lack of attention. A stain, no matter how small, can undermine the overall impression of cleanliness and care. These things might seem minor, almost inconsequential in the grand scheme of things, but they send a message, a signal to the world about how we feel about ourselves. They are the visual cues that others use to form their initial judgments. When you let these things slide, when you neglect these small acts of self-care, it can look like you don't respect yourself, as if you've given up on presenting your best self to the world. It can project an image of apathy or even despair, and unfortunately making it harder for others to respect you. People often mirror the respect we show ourselves. When we present ourselves with care and attention, we invite others to treat us with the same regard. Take Frank, for example. A kind and intelligent man, but someone who had let his grooming habits slip over time. He didn't realize his appearance, the unkempt hair, the stained clothing, was subtly pushing his family away, creating a distance he couldn't quite understand. He felt a growing disconnect, a sense of isolation within his own family circle. It wasn't until he took a good, honest look in the mirror, a moment of self-reflection, that he began to understand the impact of his appearance. He saw not just his reflection but the message he was sending. A haircut, neatly trimmed nails, and a fresh, clean shirt later, a simple transformation, but one that held immense power. He decided to make a change, to invest in himself and his appearance. Suddenly his family drew closer. They noticed the change, the renewed sense of self-respect, and responded in kind. The distance began to close, replaced by warmth and connection. It wasn't vanity. It was self-respect, a recognition of his own worth, and a desire to present his best self to the world. It was about taking pride in his appearance and showing himself, and others, that he mattered. Your appearance is the cover of your book, the first thing people see and the initial basis upon which they form an opinion. It's the visual introduction to your personality and character. Make it inviting, intriguing, so people want to know your story, to delve deeper and discover the richness within. A well-presented cover encourages people to open the book and explore its contents. A little grooming is a simple act of self-love, a tangible way of showing yourself that you care, that you value your well-being and presentation. It's a small investment in your overall happiness and confidence. It's an act that changes how you feel, boosting your self-esteem and projecting an aura of confidence, and how others respond, inviting positive interactions and fostering stronger connections. Don't underestimate the power of a clean shirt and a fresh haircut. These seemingly small changes can have a profound impact on your overall demeanor and how you are perceived. When you look good, you feel good. It's a simple equation, but one that holds immense truth. Taking care of your appearance can significantly boost your mood and self-confidence. And that energy is contagious, radiating outwards and influencing the people around you. Your positive attitude and confidence can inspire and uplift others. So start with the person in the mirror. Take a moment to assess your appearance, identify areas for improvement, and commit to making small, consistent changes. It's an investment in yourself that will pay dividends in countless ways. Next up, complaining. We all vent, but constant negativity creates a cloud people want to avoid. If every conversation starts with what's wrong, people, especially younger ones, will keep their distance. Take Harold. His son stopped calling because every chat was a list of complaints. When Harold started balancing every gripe with two things he was grateful for, everything changed. Their conversations became lighter and his son wanted to connect again. You can be honest about struggles without letting them define you. Ask yourself, are you creating a cloud or bringing sunshine? People want to be around those who lift them up. Remember, you have the power to set the tone. Choose gratitude as often as you can. Don't take that power for granted. Let's talk about interrupting or dominating conversations. We all want to share our stories, but constantly turning the focus back to yourself makes others feel unheard. Walter loved to talk, but his family stopped sharing because he never listened. When he made it a rule to learn 3 new things about someone before sharing his own story, everything changed. He discovered new sides of his family and their dinners became real conversations. True connection is a two-way street. Sometimes the best way to show love is to listen. Next time you're in a conversation, pause and ask questions. Practice the art of listening, not just waiting to talk. You'll be amazed at what you learn and how much closer you feel. Real relationships are built in those quiet spaces. Let's talk about the clothes you wear. It's a topic that often gets overlooked, especially as we get older. We tend to prioritize comfort and practicality, which is understandable. But the clothes we choose to wear have a profound impact on how we feel about ourselves and how the world perceives us. Think about it. Clothing is one of the first things people notice about you. It's a visual representation of your personality, your mood, and your self-worth. It's not about fashion, but self-respect. It's about making a conscious decision to present yourself in a way that reflects your inner dignity and value. It's about recognizing that you deserve to feel good about yourself, regardless of your age or circumstances. When you dress with self-respect, you're sending a message to yourself and to the world that you matter. Worn out, stained, or ill-fitting clothes, they tell a story, and often not the one you want to tell. They can become a symbol of neglect, a sign that you've given up on yourself. We all have those old favorites, the comfortable clothes we reach for without thinking, but sometimes those clothes can hold us back, trapping us in a cycle of negativity, can signal you've stopped caring, even if you haven't. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that because you're retired or spending more time at home, you don't need to put in the effort anymore. But that's simply not true. Caring for your appearance is an act of self-care, a way of showing yourself that you're still engaged with life and that you still value yourself. Leonard wore the same old sweats every day. They were comfortable, familiar, and required no thought. He'd convinced himself that it didn't matter what he wore, that no one was really looking at him anyway, and felt invisible. He felt like he was fading into the background, becoming a ghost in his own life. The clothes he wore reinforced that feeling of isolation and insignificance, but when he put on a crisp shirt, something shifted. It was a simple blue button-down, nothing fancy, but it was clean, well-fitting, and made him stand a little taller. He felt seen and respected. People smiled at him, held doors open, and engaged in conversation. It was as if the shirt had unlocked a new level of connection with the world. That small change lifted his mood. He felt more confident, more energized, and more engaged with his surroundings, and brought him back into the world. He started going out more, joining a book club, and volunteering at the local community center. The simple act of changing his clothes had transformed his life. You don't need new clothes. This isn't about buying a whole new wardrobe or trying to keep up with the latest trends. Just wear the nice ones you already have. Take a look in your closet and rediscover those forgotten gems, the clothes that make you feel good about yourself. Dressing with intention. It's about making a conscious choice to put on clothes that reflect your best self, even if you're just staying home. Is an investment in your own morale. It's a way of saying, I value myself and I deserve to feel good. Today is a special occasion. Every day is a special occasion. Every day you wake up is a gift, an opportunity to live life to the fullest. Wear the good shirt. Don't save it for a special event that may never come. Wear it today, wear it tomorrow, wear it whenever you want to feel a little bit better about yourself. See how it changes your day. Notice the difference in your mood, your energy levels, and your interactions with others, and how people respond. You might be surprised at the positive attention you receive, the smiles, the compliments, the genuine connections. Your clothes are your uniform for life. They're a reflection of who you are, what you value, and how you want to be perceived by the world. Dress for the life you want, the life you aspire to, the life you deserve. Don't let your clothes hold you back from achieving your goals and living your dreams, not the one you've settled for. Don't let comfort or habit dictate your wardrobe choices. Make a conscious decision to dress in a way that empowers you and inspires you to live your best life. Small steps lead to big changes. It all starts with a simple decision to put on a nice shirt, to choose clothes that make you feel good about yourself. Put on that armor of self-respect. Wear your clothes with pride, knowing that you're presenting yourself to the world in a way that honors your inner dignity and value, and step into the light. Embrace the world with confidence and joy, knowing that you're dressed for success, both inside and out. We've all been there, haven't we? Standing in line, tapping our feet, glancing at our watches, feeling that familiar surge of impatience. It's a common human experience, but when does it cross the line from a fleeting feeling to a behavior that negatively impacts those around us? Finally, impatience in public. It's a scenario ripe with potential for friction. Sighing in line, a subtle expression of annoyance that can be surprisingly contagious. Tapping a foot, a rhythmic declaration of, "I have somewhere better to be." Snapping at cashiers, a direct release of frustration onto someone who is simply doing their job. These actions, seemingly small, can have a ripple effect. These moments create tension for everyone. The cashier feels belittled and stressed, the other customers feel uncomfortable and anxious, and the overall atmosphere becomes charged with negativity. It's a collective experience of unease, all stemming from one person's inability to manage their impatience. It sends the message that your time matters more than others, that your needs are more important, and that you are entitled to special treatment. It's a subtle form of disrespect that can erode the sense of community and shared humanity, even if you don't mean it that way. Often impatience stems from our own internal pressures and anxieties. We might be running late, feeling overwhelmed, or simply having a bad day. But projecting that negativity onto others is never the answer. Raymond was always impatient. He was the kind of person who would honk his horn the second the light turned green, who would complain loudly about slow service, and who would always find fault with the pace of things, until his daughter challenged him to practice active patience. She pointed out how his impatience was affecting his relationships and his own well-being. She encouraged him to find ways to reframe his perspective and to cultivate a sense of calm in everyday situations. Instead of groaning in line, a common reaction for Raymond, a sign of his internal frustration boiling over, he smiled at the person ahead. A simple gesture, but one that completely shifted the dynamic. It acknowledged their shared experience and created a moment of connection. That small act changed everything. It not only diffused his own frustration but also created a more positive atmosphere for everyone around him. He realized that patience wasn't just about waiting, it was about choosing a better way to be. Patience isn't weakness. It's not about passively accepting inconvenience. It's a gift you give others and yourself. It's about choosing kindness, understanding, and compassion in the face of frustration. It's about recognizing that everyone is doing their best and that sometimes things just take time. Next time you feel impatience bubbling up, that familiar heat rising within you, take a breath and offer a smile. Acknowledge the feeling, but don't let it control you. Choose a different response. See how it changes the energy around you, how it diffuses the tension and creates a more positive interaction, and inside you. You might be surprised at how much better you feel when you choose patience over frustration. You have the power to turn tension into connection. You have the ability to transform a negative situation into a positive one, simply by choosing a different response. Choose patience, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because those are the moments that truly matter. Those are the moments when you have the opportunity to make a real difference. It costs nothing, but it means everything. It means a more peaceful interaction, a more positive atmosphere, and a stronger sense of community. The world needs more kindness and calm. It needs more people who are willing to choose patience over frustration, connection over tension, and understanding over judgment. Be the one who brings it, be the one who makes a difference, be the one who chooses patience, even when it's hard. We've covered grooming, complaining, listening, dressing, and patience. Which one hit home for you? What's one small step you can take this week? It's not about perfection, just small shifts that bring more warmth and connection. These changes add up and transform how you feel and how others respond. Share your commitment in the comments. Making it real helps you stick to it. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other.